guys, my name is Rudy Echeverria and I've been patiently waiting to make this video. Number one thing, this video, it is about entrepreneurship and it is about DACA dreamers. I'm a big supporter of DACA dreamers. I am one of them. There's roughly about 3.6 million immigrants that were brought as children. There's 800 and plus that have a benefit such as Social Security, permit to work, driver license, you name it. I strongly believe that DACA dreamers are a perfect fit for entrepreneurship. As a DACA dreamer, and if you want to start a business, you have two options. You can go solo and you can partner up. Now, option number one, let's go to option number one. You can become 100% owner of a business. Now, you have certain limitations. The limitations are very simple because we're not permanent residents, because we're not citizens. We don't have access to working capital. What am I talking about? No bank loans. So if you have an idea, you want to start a business, you're like, hey, listen, I think this is gonna work. I have this. I think I want to start an online retail business, but you don't have money saved. Nowhere in the world you're gonna have access to what? To microloans or SBA loans or working capital, because no banks or lenders will lend you money if you're not a permanent resident or a citizen. Now, are you able to do it? Yes, you can use your own money and start a business. Now, if you do not know what's going to happen with your legal status, like, I will always go with option number two, because in the first place, you can leverage a lot, but I'll jump into that one right now. But this is what you can have. You can start a business. Yes, you can. You can own 100% of the business. Now, there are certain limitations you're not able to do if you're a startup. You're not gonna be able to have access to microloans, no SBA loans, no working capital. Even if you're 2 to 3 years in business, and you want to go to a lender, but you're still a DACA dreamer and you own 100% of the business, because you're not a permanent resident or a citizen, you won't have access to capital. So let's go to option, after the bad news now, let's go to option number two. What are our possibilities? This is a system that I started doing myself and it works, by the way. So these are your possibilities. Can you register a business? Yes, you can register a business with your Social Security or your IT number. The best option to go is find a business partner. When you file your corporation, you name it, you find a professional in the first place. The citizen needs to own 51% of the business. The DACA dreamer needs to own 49% of the business. Now, you always got to do an amendment where it says you own 50% of the profit share as well as the other person. But you can leverage this so much. You can have access. Now you can have access to microloans, SBA loans, any kind of working capital. Now you can leverage this so much. For example, if your business start growing so good in the next 3 to 5, 6, 7, 12 months, a year and a half, and now you bring in a revenue of $50,000 a month, but now you won't have access to working capital, to additional funding, because now you have a partner that's a citizen or a permanent resident. Now you can have access to more capital, so you can reinvest or put it in a different industry, you name it. So my advice, if you're a DACA dreamer and you want to get into the world of business, if you want to get into the world of entrepreneurship, it's always go with this route. One of the skills, that many people, that many millionaires, the millionaires master is they share the wealth. Now you might be saying, hey, listen, I do not want to give 50% of my profit share to someone. Look, millionaires share wealth. If you want to know how much Jeff Bezos owns of Amazon, is roughly about 17% he owns of Amazon. Who else owns the rest? Investors. Very simple. Shareholders. You name it. So you got to take this route if you want to grow. I'm going to give you a perfect example of me. I took this route for like roughly about 6 to 12 months. It did not work. It did not work for me because I was looking for additional capital to reinvest in business, you name it. But I went this route. Now, when I choose this route, it worked better for me. Now I have business partners. Now I leverage my business partners. One's in charge of this, those in charge of that, those in charge of this. Now, as I leverage my business partners, and now we share 50% of a business and of another business and another business, now I have a chance to leverage them and they can take care of these. Well, I'm focused on bringing funding and money to the business. Now I'm focusing on another industry and now I have additional business partners. So if you want to grow big into the world of business, I would say always go this route because you can leverage so much with business partners. And why am I talking about building a business? Why am I talking about DACA dreamers? Very simple, because 40% of Fortune 500 companies will be built by immigrants. Now, no doubt we're immigrants. No doubt we come from a different place. But it doesn't mean we gotta stop. Just because you have certain limitations doesn't mean you need to stop where you think it's enough. You can always go beyond. You can always go beyond. Go the extra mile. Just because you're knocking doors and somebody's saying, hey, listen, you're not gonna make it. You need to settle for a job. You need to do this. You need to do that. Always go the extra mile, because at the end of the day, the extra mile will always bring you rewards, compensation, you name it. You will see hard work pay off at the right time. You just need to be very aggressively patient. Be very aggressively patient. Just keep working, keep moving on. Don't freak out. There's a chance, and I'm excited for the next 10, 20, 30 years that are coming ahead, because I know many DACA dreamers are going to be in this part of the 40% of the Fortune 500 companies that are going to be built by immigrants. So I'm excited. With that being said, don't quit. Don't give up. Keep fighting. Always look for alternative routes. Always look for an additional hustle, for a side income. And if you want to build a business, my name is Rudy Echeverria. You can always find me on Instagram, Facebook, and ask me any questions directly. I would love to help you out. Perfect. Thank you.